Now we got a new committee move in the materials space. Carrie, you bought Linde.
Yes. So this is a UK-based company. It's the largest producer and distributor of industrial gases in the world. So we're talking about oxygen, nitrogen, argon, etc. These are mission-critical products that are used in industrial production, in healthcare, also in semiconductor manufacturing. Semiconductors require very specified and purified gases. So the stock had fallen in the last quarter of 2025 as the risk on trade took hold, went from the 30 level to 22 times. And so we bought some stock there, and we think there's a very strong growth trajectory of at least 10% per year over the next several years.
Yeah, so far a big start to the year for materials more broadly.
Yeah.
How closely is this levered to increase production and manufacturing here in the U.S. or globally? Obviously here in the U.S., we're in what a lot of people see as an industrial and manufacturing recession.
So it's a cyclical company for sure. And as industrial production picks up, and we're seeing that in GDP growth continues, that's good for this company. And, you know, for sure, if we have a big cyclical decline, that would not be favorable. But we're not expecting that. And this was an opportunity, again, to diversify outside of communication services and technology.
All right. Material sector itself up over 7% so far year to date. Gold's been a big part of that story. Joe, coming over to you. You own Newmont. You also own a company called Corteva. What do you make of the metals rally extending again today? Gold and silver both higher after hitting records. Gold was actually an intraday high yesterday, but silver closed at a record.
It's the purest representation of momentum you're going to find in the marketplace right now. And it's a momentum play that's being embraced by the retail community. All you have to do is look out on social media and you'll see that. Fundamental validity is there as it relates to silver with the supply deficit that's been in place now for the better part of the last several years. I have not managed this trade well. I think Steve is in the GLD. You did mention Corteva. Do not rule out agriculture assets in 2026, owning names related to potash and agriculture. Mosaic making a little bit of a move today. I think that's up about 6%. I think agriculture in 26 can participate in what looks like a commodities rally.
Shannon, what do you make of this commodities rally? It was kind of interesting. We saw the PPI today better than expected. Commodities, obviously a factor in there. And despite this big rise, that came in a bit lower than expected. Just what do you make of this trade right now? Do you see it as sustainable going into the rest of 2026?
Historically, I wouldn't say that if you're entering into a period of expected disinflation that you would be looking to buy commodities. But I think that there are a number of different factors. To Joe's point, Joe did a great job of articulating on agriculture. But if you look at industrial metals, precious metals, and I think we're going to talk a little bit more about energy, you know, there's some drivers here in terms of global growth reacceleration. There's also a feeling that from a diversification standpoint, adding kind of real assets exposure into your portfolio can balance out some of the growth risk that is in other parts of the market, particularly the U.S. equity market. So we see this as a really nice complement, despite the fact that it might not be intuitive to be purchasing commodities in a disinflationary environment.
All right. Weiss, you actually bought the GLD Gold ETF last week. Obviously, we all know about gold's rally, so you're buying gold pretty close to a high. Why buy here? What are you saying?
Because I think it goes higher. That's why I bought it.
I mean, what's the
it has gone higher since you bought it.
I was right. It's actually right for a change.
In all fairness.
No, look, I had raised some cash last year, at the end of the year, and I wanted a place to put it. I thought it was a reasonable hedge, frankly. And sure, I never liked buying anything at the highs, even though I read Joe's book, Buy High and Sell Higher, which I recommend to everybody. But that's why I think it goes up, because there's a lot of nervousness in the market, in the world overall, and this is a good place to hang out.
All right, we're looking at the GLD today. It's up over 0.5%.